Sunday lunch should be stress-free. And for me, the most important thing about having a selection of antipasti is to make sure that it's quick and easy. These are going to be marinated mushrooms. It's a very easy dish to do. And the most important thing is putting colour on the mushrooms first. Now, nice hot pan. And this is the good old-fashioned butter mushroom, something that we've forgotten about because we got a little bit flash with things like ceps, girolles and chanterelles. Now, some olive oil in the pan, and we get some colour on there. You can do the dish 3 or 4 days in advance because the longer the mushrooms marinate, the deeper the flavour. Pan just about to start smoking, mushrooms in. The important thing now is to take the water out of the mushrooms. As soon as we've got the water out of the mushroom, they start to colour. If we sort of just cook them in a pan that's not very hot, then they boil. We want to saute, and there's a big difference. Salt, pepper. All that hissing you can hear is the water coming out of the mushrooms. Don't be scared of that. It's doing its job. But look at the colour. It's got a really nice colour over the mushrooms now. And that means already, on a very plain Jane buttered mushroom, you've got a really nice flavour. Now, whilst they're colouring away, I'm going to start peeling the shallots. It's really important to use shallots because onions are a little bit too harsh. They're sort of a lot sweeter. Just cut in half and slice lengthways. And the nice thing about adding the shallots to it now, it makes the dish really nice and sweet. Shallots straight in. These mushrooms are delicious when they're hot, but they're absolutely fabulous when they're cold. And we're going to make a vinaigrette now. And so the mushrooms are going to steep in the vinaigrette. You do that 3 or 4 days beforehand. Honestly, on the day, they're mind-blowing. White wine vinegar. And we're going to put it in around the outside of the pan so as not to ball the mushroom. Look, right round the outside. Now, what happens then? By the time it goes into the centre, it's evaporated. We need the harshness of the vinegar to disappear, and we need that nice sort of sweet and sour to sort of taint the mushroom. Smells amazing. Now, look, it's got a really nice gloss. You can hear the heat in the pan. I've still got that crackle, you know, crackling away. And that's really important to keep the heat in there, because the minute the heat's gone, you start boiling the mushrooms, therefore you've got no flavour. And the secret now, of course, is just to finish the vinaigrette by adding the oil. And think about it. You've got the flavour at the bottom of the pan from the sautéed mushrooms, the sweetness of the onions, the vinegar's evaporated, and now we've just made a really nice, fresh, fragrant vinaigrette. Bring the oil back up to the boil, and just look at the colour of those mushrooms. Out, into the dish. Now, one last thing. As those mushrooms are marinating and cooling down and steeping in that vinaigrette, I'm going to put in a really nice sort of fresh tarragon. But we don't chop it. All we do is just pick the tarragon into the mushrooms. This is a very delicate, dainty herb, and it starts to discolour when you're cooking it. The nice thing about the tarragon, it's got a really nice vinegary flavour, but a little bit of aniseed there as well. It's almost like the sort of star anise or a little flavour of fennel in there, and it just lifts the whole flavour of the mushroom. Now, the tarragon's working its magic. It's starting to perfume the vinaigrette. They're delicious now, but leave them to cool down for 24 hours. It's amazing. That is a complete stress-free dish. Perfect way of starting a Sunday lunch. The perfect antipasti. And all you need now is some really nice rustic bread. And bang, you're away.